Hey, listeners, welcome to the Product Hunt Weekly podcast. This is the podcast where we, your Product Hunt content team, break down the week's tech headlines and talk about the products making waves on the leaderboard. I'm Sarah. I'm the content lead at Product Hunt and excited to get into today's content with you guys, talking through a lot of cool things like Golden Kitty Awards and the news with my co-host, Aaron.
Yeah, I'm Aaron and I write the Daily Digest. So you might see me in your inbox. I've been a product for just about 5 years now and I reside in Cork, Ireland.
Awesome. So, listeners, it's that time of year again when we look back at all of the products that launched last year and vote for our favorites. If you're new here, it is Golden Kitty Award season, just along the same time as all the other awards. So, we look at the products that impacted the community and the tech landscape in general. And we are voting to see who wins the beautiful, coveted Golden Kitty Trophy. These Golden Kitty trophies are a fan favorite amongst the community, along with obviously the title that you can clinch for things like Best Product of the Year, Best Mobile App, all of those categories that all of last year's launches are competing for.
Yeah, I've seen a few community members describe it as the Oscars of tech. I think one was Tim from Cluster, which, in my completely unbiased opinion, of course, is totally fair as a comparison. And speaking of the trophy, I've been here like almost 5 years, and I still haven't had the chance to snag one as a desk ornament. So next time we all meet up, that's number one on my priority list.
Ouch, Aaron. If you just observe here, I hate
Is
to
that
rub it. I hate to rub it in your face, but for those of you who are listening, I'm holding my Golden Kitty award in front of me. I won the award for an internal hackathon that Product Hunt did. So yeah, our teams competed and I was one of the contributors to the winning team last year. So in
Oh,
a
I
sense,
missed
it's not an official Golden Kitty Award where I competed against best mobile app or anything, but it is pretty.
Yeah, it's really pretty. And also, if you still have the old Golden Kitty image in your head, we do have a new revamped trophy, which is pretty stunning looking. So, to any nominations that might be listening to this, I have my fingers crossed, living on hopes and prayers for you that you can snag one, but of course, not all of you can. So, yeah, enjoy it. In today's podcast, we're going to take a deep dive into some of the categories and products in this year's awards. We have 18 total voting categories, two non-voting categories, which are Maker of the Year and Community Member of the Year. And each year we curate these categories based on trends, historical top performing categories. AI was huge this year, so we broke that up into a few different categories. And yeah, it's always a blast.
Yeah, I'm excited about the four AI categories this year. It was obviously like way too huge. There are way too many products to really just fit that into one category. We
Yeah.
all are doing so many different types of things and tackling so many different solutions. So I am personally super excited about the productivity category. I'll talk about that more. I love mobile apps just because those are so like important in your life. But yeah, so many of the categories, honestly, I'm always excited to learn about like new top tech basically in each one of these topics. What are the ones that you're most interested in?
Yeah, so I have a few. So developer tools, I spent a while developing my own products, so it's always a little bit close to my heart. Developer tools has historically always been a big category on Product Hunt as well. We're seeing like a lot of AI tools within the developer tools, things that make your experience easier. I'm always excited to see what rises to the top in the developer tool arena, what products are making lives easier for developers, what's just a bit of fun for developers. Like recently I saw something that turns your GitHub contribution chart into a piece of art. That's launched this year, so it's not technically eligible, maybe next year. But developer tools is something I'm really looking forward to seeing who wins. Mobile apps is another one. Design tools. But for me, big time actually, it's Web3. And I'm not like this huge Web3/crypto person at all. I've always followed along because it's been at least surfacely interesting to me. But it's had a little bit of a year on Product Hunt. So to start with, again, this was mentioned on our last podcast. A good amount of our top 25 were crypto related products in a year that was dominated by AI. I was expecting all 25 to be AI. Web3 was actually our number one most upvoted category in the 2021 Golden Kitty Awards. That title was clinched by AI last year to nobody's surprise, I feel. It's anything but dead. So in this year's awards, you can vote for products like Cluster, Anytype, Ice, and Changey, which are all really interesting takes on the Web3 world. They do pretty cool things like Cluster. We met Tim only recently at Berlin, and he did a demo of Cluster, and it basically manages your crypto risk, your crypto portfolio's risk, and it uses AI to do that. So it can recommend coins based on what you're used to, where your interests lie. It does like analysis based on a bunch of different trends and factors, which is all a little bit too complex for me to super deep dive into. But it's a product that actually made me think twice about crypto, and this year maybe look into a little bit more because the vagueness of it always scared me. But Cluster kind of like it clears that up a little bit from the demo that we were shown. And yeah, there's just some really, really interesting products in the Web3 category this year. And going forward, I think it could be an underdog, but we'll see.
Yeah, those are all great. They look like great products. I think that's why I'm excited about this category this year because when crypto was having its downturn, a lot of people were talking about like a crypto winter where only the best really rise to the top and you sort of lose all of these lower quality products. Honestly, the people who are really just in the game for like a quick pump and dump type of schemes, just like get rich quick NFT things.
Mm-hmm.
So I really felt like looking through the Web3 category, like you just had higher quality products. We talked about Anytype last week. I think it was last week, maybe 2 weeks ago. That one
Yeah.
was one that stood out to me. It's interesting about building your personal, um, it's almost like smart folders with everything that you keep and want to hold on to, kind of a bit of productivity, everything. But it's really security based and it uses blockchain technology under the hood to keep everything safe. So like that was for me like an example of just an interesting product that everyone can be interested in. Like it doesn't matter if you
Mm-hmm.
are negative on Web3, not going to make it. If
Yeah.
you just, this is to me like exactly one of the reasons why Golden Kitties is so great is because we're just surfacing the best products of the year. So if you weren't following along, then you can come in here and look at everything that was interesting from last year. And if you were following along, then you probably have some favorite products that you're like just super excited to vote for. So, yeah, interesting year for Web3. It's doing pretty well despite all of the memes of everyone pivoting to AI this year.
Yeah, absolutely. And all that to say, I did see a lot of Web3 products announce a pivot to AI pretty immediately, and I'm excited to see who comes out on top. But what about you? Any categories that you're super excited for?
Yes, I'm excited for productivity. I know there's a lot of productivity nerds in the Product Hunt audience. It is our biggest topic within Product Hunt. So we just see so many tools launch across the space, whether it is calendar tools or notes apps, collaboration. And this year we broke productivity up into two categories. So we have personal productivity and then productivity for teams. So the first it could be for work or personal life, but it's really just their tools to help you move faster, be more efficient, just get things done, make better use of your time. And then productivity for teams is all about collaboration. So helping people see what your teammates are working on, helping share what you're working on, and just moving things across the line faster together. So that could be anything from video, meeting apps to project management to whiteboarding tools. They're super relevant for anyone just to go and be like, how can I make myself more productive or just even pull less stress on myself? I was looking through the nominees this year, and there are just some really cool products nominated. Some of this stuff is just so cool. So, Lazy, for example, I thought was really interesting. I was on maternity leave when Lazy had this launch, but Interestingly, Lazy won the Golden Kitty Award for smart home products back in 2019. So 3 years later, they came back and launched Lazy Capture at the Speed of Light is their tagline. And it's like a command bar shortcut tool, but for capturing basically anything across the web now. So when they launched
Mm.
3 years ago in the smart home space, it was all about being able to just do like quick commands on your desktop to control your smart home. Hit the command bar and be able to turn on your lights without having to open the app or, turning on your security system. So just making things super quick and fast. So basically, they took that idea and incorporated AI and made a similar concept really just across your computer. We've seen more of these companies lately. Let's see, I think Raycast is one of them. Rewind is sort of also similar. A unified search now. So basically, really having one place to pull up and control whatever it is that you can think to control from just a simple command rather than having to do all your apps. And I said lazy expands now further beyond the desktop. So you could be doing things like searching the web and reading an article, and then you can highlight over a piece of text with your cursor and then just save it right there to your space. Maybe leave like a note along with whatever it was that you highlighted, but it just turns your cursor into just this quick command where you can do all sorts of different things. I think I've said this before, but I'm almost embarrassed to say I'm still an Apple Notes user. So I've tried a few different tools and looking for like a front runner more in some of the productivity spaces before I switch over. I did the same thing with Notion and Notes apps. So I will test a lot of these, but I think keeping me using them is another thing, which is I think all productivity apps probably face that. But yeah, I'm really interested to try Lazy. I think Audio Pen was also really cool. It uses AI to convert messy thoughts into clear text. So in the demo, the makers show two people speaking at an event. I think one of them is the founder, but two people speaking at an event, and it's recorded, and the recording is just instantly turned into structured notes from your conversation. So a lot of productivity tools, they kind of just take a little bit of a learning curve. And I think these ones that sound like they're just make it super effortless are the ones that I'm really excited about. So Audio Pen is another one, really smart use of AI. But there's a lot of great ones. This is not in the productivity category, but Bear 2 was nominated for a mobile app. And I know that that's becoming a popular productivity notes taking app. I've talked about Heptabase before, which is good for learning. Cascade is another one for generating task lists and notes and mind maps. So if I think about a physical product, and if you remember planners, I know you're a bit younger than me, but I think you probably still use planners a bit.
I have one. I still use it.
Oh, nice. Yeah. See, I remember loving my planner in high school, but you'll see Instagrams of people using highlighters and different stickers.
Yeah.
Like mine was just chicken scratch, and I'd go weeks without putting something in. And I think the way people use things apply to digital in the same way. Like some people are willing to put all of the little stickers and highlights and make everything work really well for them. And other people like me are just like, we are the Apple Notes users, the people whose planners were just a chicken scratch mess. So things I'm super excited about AI and stuff like that, being able to just instantly pull stuff out for super messy people like me, or like the command bar, really instant one click thing. Yeah. Yes, that's why I'm excited about the
Yeah.
productivity category.
Yeah. Like you, I'm also an Apple Notes user and a big pen and paper user. Back in school, in an average school day in Ireland, you have like 9 or 10 classes, different subjects. Um, Kind of halfway through every school year, I had one copybook for like all of them, like one notebook for all of them, and it was just again like a chicken scratch. But that's the thing about productivity. It's probably one of the most subjective categories out there because it
Yeah.
works differently for everyone. For me, I don't like a productivity tool that I have to put in the work to set it up to be productive. I want it to be productive out of the box. And that's why I really like things like Apple Notes because it has everything there. I can do my groceries, I can do reminders, I can take notes. That coupled with, I started using Cron Calendar, which we'll actually get to pretty soonish last week. that's been great. But I really like my productivity tools. Super simple. But I have to agree, the AI kind of unified search, unified command thing is like super, super exciting. Just opening up an app and being able to get it to do whatever you need to do to be productive is fantastic. And it reminds me as well of the Rabbit R1 that just came out, which is like a handheld device basically for exactly that. It's a Game Boy Tamagotchi Pokedex looking thing, and it uses AI to so that you can direct that AI to do anything. And the whole value of it is that it's meant to get rid of like all your apps on your phone, basically. If you want to order a pizza, it'll do that. If you want to take notes, it will do that. If you want to post to Facebook, Twitter,
Mm.
YouTube, it will do it. I like that stuff a lot. It's exciting. My only condition is it doesn't take the character out of the internet, because having all these apps as well and all these different options and these funky designs and stuff is what gives the internet its like personality to me. So, but yeah, really excited to see where it goes. And someday I'll show you my Apple Notes, and we can compare just how ridiculous those are.
Yeah, that sounds like a competition I don't want to win. But
Yeah. Yeah, I've
um
like exactly like I've like about 400 startup ideas that I've had in there since like 2018.
ouch, yeah.
Ask me how many I've worked on. I would probably say six at the most. Uh, and it's just I'm too attached to that little folder in my notes now to get rid of it.
Right, right. Yeah. I think having the note at least is step one. So you had some ideas. Did you buy the
Yeah.
domain? Did you buy the domain for some of them?
Are you joking? I've like 100 unused domains. I get a domain renewal notice pretty much every week of the year. And if you saw my bank statement, there's so many renewals that I didn't realize went out. One was really bad, so I bought like a domain for like 199 a few years ago, and I bought it for 2 years. And then it came out of my bank, and I didn't check my email because I was on a vacation, and it came out of my bank and it renewed for like 250
Oh
euro. I was like, what?
no. That was going to be my question is how much a year do you spend on domains? Because that's crazy. Wow.
Yeah, I
But
think I would give like a lender or a banker a nightmare if I showed my statements because of the domains.
wow, that's impressive. Well, this year is the year, right, Aaron? You're gonna put some of those
Yeah,
domains to work.
at least one of them. Anyway. That's my goal.
I saw that rabbit tool, by the way, not to get too off topic, but I read your newsletter, but I didn't dive deep into it. But my immediate thought was just pretty much this is like for all of the people who were sad when BlackBerry
Yeah,
officially stopped making BlackBerry, which is a significant amount of people. I know everyone just misses just the effectiveness of the actual keyboard and click.
but you see, Clicks also released a case that turns your iPhone into a keyboard, into a BlackBerry.
Yeah.
So
It's
you got
full
that. You
circle.
got that.
We're going full
Yeah,
circle.
exactly. Going back to the good old
Yeah,
days.
we're gonna get a typewriter soon that just plugs into a screen. And
Okay, I'll actually
uh,
wager bet that we're going to get an AI-powered typewriter this year or something.
yeah, oh, that's cool. Okay.
Yeah,
I
just
don't know
type,
exactly how that would work, but it's
just put in like a prompt into the typewriter somewhere and just be like, create a book like Ernest Hemingway and see what happens.
ooh, interesting. I was gonna
Yeah,
ask how would that work? Like a 3D printer type of thing? It just prints, but yeah, that's so kind of same concept. It's very hipster. You know what? Honestly, this concept might already be on Kickstarter, so we should see if it's on Kickstarter or Indiegogo. I wouldn't be
yeah.
surprised. We'll see if it's funded. So, speaking of productivity, you just mentioned it a bit earlier, but there was some news recently about Notion
Mhm.
and Cron.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is our section where we cover some of the biggest news in the tech and product world, and today is all about our good friends at Notion. So if you remember the Golden Kitty Award winner for Best Productivity App in 2021, it was Cron, a calendar app that went on to be acquired by Notion and then win another Golden Kitty Award for Best Mobile App. The team really wanted to hog all the awards. So Well, I only just, like I mentioned earlier, I only just started using cron, so this was a bit of a whirlwind 24 hours for my productivity stack, which is quite minimal as it is. But Notion has basically sunsetted cron. Sorry to cron users, but they've launched Notion Calendar. You're welcome, Cron users, I guess. It's a standalone but integrated calendar that replaces Cron and has most of the productivity features that users love. The big new feature coming with the rebranding is the Notion integration. So if you or your company uses Notion, you'll be able to create or link Notion documents inside a calendar invite. If you have a database filled with due dates, you can add that as a calendar to Notion calendar. And it's like a better way to handle agendas, notes, and documents rather than sending them around in like different Slack groups and stuff. It's just all contained into the one. So the integration is this huge part of Notion Calendar, and Notion users have been like crying out for a while now to get Notion to bring out either a calendar app or some kind of calendar integration into the platform. And yeah, this is what they've come out with. Some things are missing from what you might have been used to with Cron, mainly around compatibility with devices like Android devices, and Outlook isn't included yet, but I'm pretty sure Notion are working on this. And one of the big ones is the logo has changed. And I learned this morning that an awful lot of people really loved the Cron logo. I mean, really loved it. I haven't seen this much sadness about a logo in a long time.
Yeah, it's a great logo. I get it. I think also everyone was probably expecting this as soon as Notion acquired Cron. So we all knew that we would see some sort of calendar incorporated into Notion. I think it's great that it's a standalone app. So basically, it seems like what they did was just rebrand Cron and
Yeah.
launch it as part of like the Notion stack, which is great. I think we still have all of the features that we loved in Cron, but that means we lost all of the branding from Cron, which
Yeah.
I think you mentioned this earlier. That's just part of the internet sometimes. And what's cool,
Yeah.
Apple Notes is really bland, but you get like a lot of flair from really nicely designed products, which is super important to some of the brands and why people love them. So I get the sadness, but it's also exactly what you would expect to happen probably with Notion acquiring Cron.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like I said, I've been using it for maybe a week, so I wasn't super attached to it. I liked it. Regarding the logo again, I wasn't super attached to it, and I really like Notion's design language. So, but it was weird for me to go to sleep with Cron and wake up with Notion calendar. On my Mac dock, it threw me for one. I was like, "Where is my calendar, God? No, that's just Notion."
Right. Yeah, that makes sense. And by the way, Notion was nominated this year for Notion AI in Product of the Year. And I was surprised to see that Notion itself hadn't actually won a Golden Kitty award. Yeah, they've been runner-ups at least a few times, but the award always went to another super buzzy hot product of the year. So Notion fans, it's time to do your thing, I think. I'm not going to tell anyone who to vote for. There's a lot of great products and interesting products in there this year, but I thought that was surprising and interesting. And maybe this is the year to actually take the award,
Yeah,
or maybe it'll be next year with Notion Calendar.
that blows my mind. If you would ask me 5 minutes ago how many awards Notion has won, I would have just presumed three. If Ben and Ivan and all them are listening, sorry to hear that you haven't won one yet. All the best to you this year.
Yeah. Yeah. Again, it's such a huge part of our community. They've won like number one product day and of the week and of the month and all of that. So they've definitely been recognized, but maybe we need one of those like special awards categories where it's just like how much you mean to the community.
In Formula One, there's the Ferrari Fund, it's called, and it's like no matter who wins the championship every year, Ferrari gets extra payment just because it's Ferrari and it's been there so long. So maybe we should just have the Notion Award, and we're just like, here, you also get a golden kid.
Yep. The Notion Award. We see so many great templates as well. Good luck to Notion AI this year. We're rooting for you.
Yeah.
Um,
So that's it from us. Make sure you go and vote for your favorite products in the 2023 Golden Kitty Awards. I'm sure there's a plethora of products that could pique your interest across a number of different categories. The winners will be announced on the 23rd, so stay tuned. It'll be mentioned across social, the blog, the newsletter, and we'll even be talking about it here on this podcast where we would go through the winners and we might even have a special guest or two.
Yes, I can't wait to see who wins this year. Yeah, I can't wait to see who wins this year. And I actually haven't voted yet myself. I've been so focused on getting the word out for everyone else that I am going to go vote myself. I got 18 categories to vote in, so I got some work to do.
Yeah, get on that, Sarah.
Yeah, I will. I will.
All right, everyone. I'm Aaron. I write the Daily Digest, and it's been an absolute pleasure signing off today. Bye.
Bye.